It's finally time, kids, to talk about 2018's Game of the Year, the incomparable, the one and only Dusk. I talked about it in a video a little while ago and I wasn't even going to do a series on it, but then episode 3 dropped and my eyes were opened to its majesty. Having all 3 episodes gives you a good perspective of the game as a whole. We can't just go straight into episode 3 though, we gotta really dig in deep. Dusk is a shockingly intricate game. This ain't some fly-by-night $5 on Steam retro FPS throwback where it's a bunch of sparse maps and some boring guns and endless waves of enemies. I mean, there's plenty of guns and monsters, don't worry. And if you're worried about spoilers, I would suggest clicking away from this video, buying Dusk, playing it, and then coming back and watching the video. You can get Dusk from waste.money. I'm not kidding, that's real. So Dusk comes from New Blood Interactive, more specifically from these 3 madmen: David Zemansky, designer; Dave Oshry, producer and doggo enthusiast; and returning champion Andrew Hulshult doing the music. And if you want a quick review of this game, it's amazing. If it couldn't stand tall among the other giants of the FPS genre, I wouldn't be doing a series on it. I'm not calling this Pro Dusk. I'm not a pro yet. I've had the full game for like a month and a half. We're still playing on Cerro Miedo though. What the fuck do you think this is? When you boot up the game, you're greeted with this. And it's like nostalgic acupuncture in my brain. Render mode software? Sound boomer card? Headphones are a good idea though. The sound of the music, how can I do one of them chef kisses only in audio? Just mwah. Okay, story. There is a story. You are Dusk Dude, not Dusk Guy like I said in the other video, and you're a treasure hunter looking through the abandoned town of Dusk when you get jacked by some sack-headed hillbillies and put on meat hooks. But since Dusk Dude is an absolute badass, he breaks free, retains 200 health, and melees these rednecks carrying chainsaws, using sickles. These guys are called leathernecks. They're simple enemies that charge at you with a chainsaw, and if you're playing on Cerro Miedo, they close the distance quick. You have about a second between the swing of the chainsaw to get out of the way. The mages are a little easier to deal with. They throw fireballs and shout the name of classic FPS games at you.
Heretic blood.
Then we get the Black Phillips, who I hate. They're not as bad on lower difficulties, but they have these projectiles that go absurdly fast, making them a priority target. One well-placed shotgun blast can usually take them down. Dusk Dude, while not being shown off much in the game itself, fan art, and fan art that became official art, shows him looking like a cross between Caleb and Beta Gordon Freeman. The game introduces you to a bunch of important mechanics in the first room, like secrets, which are everywhere, and necessary to your survival. There's a pistol hidden right over here. Just like in classic FPS games like Trespass or Jurassic Park, you can pick things up and throw them. Like this saw blade, this barrel, this gas canister. What's this doing here? Well, like in real classic FPS games, specifically build games, there are cracks in the wall that can be blown up to reveal secrets. This gets you your first shotgun, and destroys the intended level progression. I'm not complaining, so you pick up health packs. Your armor isn't armor, it's morale, which you get by picking up treasure because you're a treasure hunter. Skipping the first areas by way of this secret that takes you to the surface, that's not what I do. I go back, because there's other secrets and a second pistol. Of course you can dual-wield pistols. Now there's a shotgun in this first secret, and I encourage everybody to find it so you can go upstairs and get a second one.
Sacrifice.
Because you can dual-wield those too, in that Terminator 2 one-handed way that Arnold nearly broke his hand doing on set. But this is a video game, so it doesn't matter. The pistols don't do a ton of damage, so now you've got 2 shotguns that are just right, exactly as impactful as they should be. They have just the right rhythm. Instead of reloading, you can press R to twirl your guns around. Sometimes this is an effective melee attack. Sometimes it gets you killed. But here's the most important game mechanic. Right next to that, however, and I'm going for the achievement in this playthrough, so you're gonna see this a lot, the soap. Pick up the soap, throw it at enemies. It's an instant kill on pretty much everything. You'd think this would destroy the game's balance, but it takes a certain amount of precision to be able to grab this stuff while moving. I don't know if the movement in Dusk is the star of the show. It's like classic Quake movement turned up to 11. You're already fast and agile. Strafe hopping takes you straight to plaid. The game encourages moving this fast, and somehow the doesn't get annoying. I can't explain it. Good sound design? Not to mention when you're in midair you can flip around, so you can strafe jump 100 miles an hour while backflipping and shotgunning cultists in the face. Don't be fooled into thinking you're playing some Quake clone, cause I was at first too. That's what I thought. I thought it was a really tightly designed Quake clone with some blood influences. A little redneck rampage over here. That's one of the tricks the game pulls on the player. Fundamental to understanding Dusk is that it lulls you into thinking it's a cheap retro FPS throwback that rides on the coattails of the classics. It knows what you're thinking. Special mention goes to doing a slide when you're running and you hit crouch. I love it. Back to the first secret though, where you get your first power-up, the fast fire totem, which is self-explanatory and lets you go nuts on the enemies for maximum cathartic bloodshed. There's so many little details in this game that I have to talk about. I'm not finding all the secrets because I don't know where all the secrets are. I know where all the secret levels are, and we'll get to that really soon because the first secret's in E1M2 down on the farm. If you didn't catch the secret fast fire power-up in level 1, you get it right at the beginning here, and since you've got 2 shotguns... If I ever need to point out how low poly or low res graphics can be a legitimate art style, the first game I'll bring up is Dusk. Everything is so cohesive that I barely notice it when playing. All the trees are a flat texture. I didn't notice. I was too busy blasted cultists with my cube-barreled shotgun. These windows that are just textures, I didn't even think about it till I was rewatching the footage. The atmosphere is too good. Okay, here's a pro tip. Light a fire. You don't need any tools, you're Dusk dude, just look at it and fire happens. Pick up a certain kind of viscera lying around, hold it on a fire, and eat it for 25 HP. Now let's not spoil everything here, except this entire level because even though the secrets aren't that hard to find, they're important. This one especially because you get the most powerful weapon in the game out of it, the Riveter. It's your multi-purpose death-dealing explosive barfing murder machine. You want to get it because it's going to come in handy for the scarecrows. Yeah, those come to life. And you know they're gonna. You've played a video game before with scarecrows in it that just pop to life. You pass by this one near the start of the level and it does nothing. But then this one shows up and will wreck you if you're not careful. He's got a fucking double-barreled shotgun. He hits hard, especially on Cerro Miedo, and my prescription is 2 rivets. Riveter ammo is everywhere in this episode if you're willing to look for it. You even get it in non-secret areas pretty frequently. Your first somewhat big battle in Dusk is in this level, and I don't like to do it without a Riveter. Also, so we're going to the secret level, the Dim Slough, a little swampy level that gives me the opportunity to talk about something really cool, which is 6 Degrees of Freedom water movement. Sure, it's not a huge deal. It's cool and I enjoy it a lot. I don't know why more games don't do it. Oh, damn it, I forgot about the cigar with the S crosshair. You know, the S thing you used to draw in school. The cigar gives you a point of health from every puff, which is not how cigars work. 10 points off. Fucking raw. Nice fucking bottle, honk honk. Old-time religion. This level gets a lot of love from me. First, because its atmosphere and color palette are beautiful. Second, it's when the game's awesome music started hitting me. Just listen to this. This level is important because it really gives you your first taste of what Dusk has to offer in terms of gameplay that's not your standard retro FPS fare. Just a taste though, Dusk doesn't want to show its hand too early. A good decision, because it makes those later episodes hit even harder. So you're just digging deeper and deeper into this town, and suddenly the Intoxicator shows up. Shoot at him till he dies. That's really all I can say about that. You might have noticed that you get a slight morale boost from quaffing beer, so I made it a rule to get as drunk as often as possible. And it's not like Duke Nukem where he gets drunk off one tall boy, the fucking pussy. It makes it kind of hard to aim and shit with the camera moving like this. Yo, I forgot about the rats. There are rats, and they're like, they're in the sewer, so I'm gonna do a sewer count on that one too. Yeah.
My pet. You'll pay for that.
That guy talking to you is Jacob, by the way. He's the cult leader. We'll see him later. Much, much later. In the Steamworks, you get a super shotgun. I'm sorry, you seized a super shotgun. Don't think you're getting those Rise of the Triad jokes past me, Dusk. The super shotgun is everything a double-barreled shotgun should be in a video game. It's big, it's powerful, it's got a really meaty sound to it. And it turns anything weaker than a leatherneck into giblets. Sometimes more than one at a time. God, yes. Like I said before, there are secrets everywhere. Steamworks has the greatest one in the episode, in my humble opinion, and I'm showing it off to you out of love. Good secret, ton of shells and machine gun ammo. I didn't even talk about the machine gun. It's an FPS machine gun, it does what it needs to, and is satisfying to use. I'm not knocking it. Further into that secret, there are 6 rivets. Cool, nice, the Dusk symbol. He is all around you. Creepy, sure. Creepy because this room is lit like a death scene in Creepshow. So maybe you won't notice this ladder here that brings you up to... Oh baby, there it is. Swim, swim hungry, motherfuckers. Okay, this game's been pretty easy so far. Episode 1, as you'd expect, is easier than the others. Since this is Cerro Miedo, Spanish for no fear, enemies and projectiles are faster, and you're gonna start feeling that right about now. Hordes of Black Phillips, fireballs from every direction, four scarecrows coming at ya. You get the hunting rifle in this level, a practical addition to the arsenal for long-range combat. Let's simplify it and say that it does the same kind of damage the super shotgun does, except from across the map. It's great for two-shotting scarecrows and one-shotting lower enemies that might be giving you trouble. This game is so cute, it spawns like a dozen wizards down there thinking I'm gonna snipe them. Hunting rifle ammo is precious and I'm not wasting it. You might be asking yourself, what is the Crystal of Madness? I didn't know at first either. Let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Actionable pun detected.
Hup, 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 and all the way to the end of the level to shit! Here we have the Fork Maidens, who fire green shit at you that hurts a lot. They take like 3 hits from the super shotgun to go down. Not these ones though, because that Crystal of Madness makes whichever monster you throw at it turn on the others. It's awesome here because I lose track of which one I threw it at. That'll do, ladies. The Cuddy Mine is a dark, haunted, dangerous place. Look at that spooky ghost. But take a listen. Let the game really sink in here. When you get the key and open a door to a walled-off passage where Jacob laughs at you. You enter a room, you have it spawn a bunch of monsters, you plow through them, only to hear at the very end, before you leave, no, rather, before he lets you leave.
Impressive.
Next, Dead of the Night. A nice little arena of a level, unless you count all these secrets. Pretty fun jumping around, sniping, getting the crossbow, a weapon I severely underestimated at first. Don't be stupid like I am, it shoots through walls and enemies. And it tells you that when you pick it up. Check this out. After this, you enter the Sanctum of the Worthy, which is still another hole in the ground in a shitty backwoods town. And ooh boy, it looks like them Duke boys is at it again.
They were unworthy.
Damn straight. Again, me conserving rivet ammo because there's always a good use for it besides bosses, like this. oh, I can go through this cool secret here and find the sword, which can block projectiles and has a super attack if you have enough morale. But then the game pulls the rug out from under you again, because when you exit this secret, you're going straight to Fragtown. That town being Dusk, population 666. Population 2069, 420, 69, 420, population 666, on brand, doggos, memes, on brand, puppers, on brand, meme, 420, 69.
Impressive. Very nice.
It's fine, New Blood, I've just busted your balls, you do you. You get the mortar in this level too. That's the last weapon you get for the whole game. Yeah, you can get every weapon in episode 1 if you're a decent secret hunter. Don't take that as a knock to Dusk. It was rumored that they had a BFG-like weapon in earlier versions and it didn't work out, and because the balance and implementation of these weapons is so good, I don't care. New monster, the soldiers. Easy, couple of stray bullets and they go down like they're made of straw. I mean, not magic straw. The next one is my personal favorite level of episode 1. Good thing I don't start the level on intruder mode. Really helps to have a sniper rifle. Oh wait, no, there's one right here next to the start. Thanks, Dave! Great map, lots of little secrets, lots of environmental details I really like. Yeah, okay, but since I am, the crossbow shoots through walls so we can hang out here and deal with this fork maiden, and she can't do shit about it. There's a teleporter out here that takes you back inbounds, so this isn't cheating. Now, there's one fight in here that I want to use as an example of Dusk's more frantic moments, where you walk in, the walls open, and you're surrounded. But not in the Serious Sam way, in the Doom and Quake way. You even get a fast fire power-up, and forget what I said about the machine gun earlier. It's awesome, it's great. There's such good sound design in this game, honestly. Even in episode 1 where it sounds like backwoods horror, it's... really unnerving. I'm gonna get deeper into this stuff later. You guys have to understand, episode 1 of Dusk is a blast. But episode 1 is the weakest episode. By design, I imagine, since I played the rest and I can see what's been built on the foundation. We've still got one more obstacle between us and the second episode. Creations. The bosses. You'd better know how to strafe hop or else kiss your ass goodbye. You even get a taste of the crazy scientist from episode 2. Oh, just look at him, isn't he cute? Now, I'm not saying that you guys should be cheap about this, but I'm gonna be. Well, half cheap. I'll kill the first one.
Low and soap you good.
This is only the beginning.